Welcome back to Cards and Comics. Today I have a short little video that I'm calling Things I Have But I Don't Know Why. And going through my collection, and I'm going to start doing more grading and just kind of finishing up sets. So I was kind of just opening boxes and seeing the stuff I have. And I come across some stuff that I'm just like, I either forgot I had or were part of sets and collections that I just put away. And now that I'm uncovering all this stuff, I just want to kind of go through and show you some of this kind of fun stuff I have, but I don't know really why I have it. And I'll start with these unopened packs here. So the first pack I'm going to show you here is a 78 GAI. This is a GAI 8.5 with Eddie Murray rookie card and front, and it's actually a pretty nice card. It's a little off-center, but this pack seems like it's legit. I haven't looked at it, under intense scrutiny, but it'd be worth pretty good money at a PSA holder. I have no clue why I'm doing with the GAI product, and it's kind of dusty, so it's been sitting around for a while. But then I follow that up with this beautiful 85 Donruss pack. And honestly, I don't even know why I have an 85 Donruss pack even graded. This isn't really that expensive of a pack, but it's GAI, so it's just really weird that I have those two things. And then in the same box, I found a bunch of this stuff, which is, excuse me as the heater turns on, but it's pretty cold here in New York. I've got these rack packs. So here's an 84 Topps rack pack. There you go, 84 Topps. Rack pack number 1. I got a Don Mattingly rookie card and a George Brett. Very odd. And on the back, we've got Steve Lake, Mike Davis, and Mookie Wilson. So, yeah, I don't really remember ever getting these. I may have had them a while back, but I just don't remember getting an 84 Donruss rack or 84 Topps. It'd be cool if it'd be Donruss. Rack pack with Don Mattingly on it. So there you go. Very odd thing there too. I don't know why I have that. Now these make a little more sense. This 89 Donruss pack, because one of the guys I collect heavily is right there in the middle. There's Ken Griffey Jr. in this 89 Donruss rack pack. So that makes sort of sense why I have that. And there you go. You can see Mr. Griffey. And then on the back is all the puzzle pieces. Unfortunately, I guess you can move the puzzle pieces around to see who the back is, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to damage the cards. I just think it's cool. I have an 89 Donruss wax rack pack with Ken Griffey Jr. on it. And it's very dusty and dirty. You can actually see the grime on the pack. It's actually very dirty because they've been in storage for a long time. Next up is another pack that just, I don't know, I guess it makes sense now, but it is an 89 Fleer, and then you can see Griffey there. And the thing that makes this pack even, it's like the Griffey's actually upside down compared to the other two. Let me get them all. There we go. 89 Fleer, you got Kurt Gibson, John Costello, and then Griffey upside down. So this might make some people sus on the Griffey that it was a repack. Looking at it, I mean, it seems pretty legit. And let's be honest, they made like tons of these rack packs. Like, they're not really rare. You can still find these boxes of rack packs pretty easily. So I just don't think it's super duper rare. But it's just a nice piece to have for a Griffey collector like myself. Next up is just something that I just must have kept when I was a kid, but it's an 89 Topps and it's a miswrap. So there you go. There you go. It is not a legit in terms of, well, it's a legit pack, but it was miswrapped from the factory. And there you go. Just a very odd looking pack. Still got the gum in it. A miswrap from 89 Topps. Unfortunately, the Griffey's not in there because, obviously he's a high number. And that was in a box set. So, and the last pack I have, I remember picking this up. I forgot about it forever. And I picked this up at a card show in Albany. And yeah, it's Prism. And I want to say, yeah, it's 2013 Prism Basketball. So it's the same year as the Giannis rookie card. Yeah, so this is an unopened hobby pack. And so I should probably get that graded. So I've got some packs here I may want to get graded because obviously opening this would be stupid. Just like when I opened that pack of 17 Prism and got the Mahomes rookie, I doubt I'm going to open this pack and get the Giannis. So it'd be cool if I did, but it's one of those packs you probably get graded. But it's just hanging out in a box. I don't know why I have it. So again, weird things I have that I don't know why. Next up, things that make more sense, and I'll go through kind of from bottom to top. Now these are just, like I said, in boxes, so they're really dirty and dusty. I'm gonna try to, wipe them off a little bit. First one is a 1971 World Series ticket. So this is from game 1 from 71. So this is Pirates and the Orioles, and this is when the Pirates actually won the World Series in 71. So this is game 1 in Baltimore. And this is what the Baltimore ticket looked like. So there's the back. You can see all the important stuff it says about rain checks, things like that. So, but there is a 71 World Series ticket from the Orioles side. And then here is the same ticket, or from the same series, from the Pirate side. And again, they're dusty and dirty. There is what the Pirate ticket looked like. And I don't know which one I like more. So this is from game 4. So, and again, this is the Three Rivers. So you can see the size difference is pretty compelling between the Orioles and the Pirates ticket. The Pirate ticket has some kind of cool color to it. It's got that orange and deep blue. So I don't know. Now, the $1 million question here is, could I get these out of these stupid one screws without damaging this paper? And are they even worth grading? So tell me in the comments if you think these are worth grading. I have no clue. I don't do tickets, so I don't have no clue if this is like what you're supposed to get with the tickets. I'm assuming that these are not full tickets because, the rain check's there, but there seems to be something missing here and here, but your seats are there. So it's, so this is box A1C3. This looks like a pretty good section 38. Looks like a pretty good ticket. This is section K, so that looks like kind of far up. This seems like it would be close. I don't know. And then last but not least, this is the A1 Cool Beans super ticket here. I love it. And it really goes well with my collection, so I know I got it. And again, I bought these. I remember when I bought them. It was in the 90s. Okay, so late 90s, maybe early 2000s. These tickets are from a time period long ago. So there's your 60 World Series ticket. Pretty much the Pirates, in modern Pirate history, this is probably the most infamous or famous series with Mazeroski hitting the home run. Just a freaking awesome ticket. I remember when I first got it. There's the rain check. Now, there's some writing on the back. And so there it says, Pittsburgh Pirates, I don't know, VIG Yankees. Oh, versus Yankees, 1960. So, obviously, this ticket's not going to grade well if I wanted to grade it, but I think it's the coolest of the tickets because how many of these things do you see? Like 60 World Series tickets. This ticket doesn't have any writing on the back. It's got some staining, right there. You can see some staining. The looks like the Oriole ticket's the one that's in the best condition. You look at the back here. So it's probably, if it graded, I'd probably say it graded the highest. I don't know. Just something I have. Weird that I forgot I had until I opened this box. Now inside that same box was a bunch of oversized Pirate cards. And so I'm going to walk through them, but I'm kind of glad I found them because I did my 60s Pirate video, or I did the 61 Pirate team set, and I did my 50s video, but when I did the 61 Pirate team set, I kept thinking like I'm missing some cards. I couldn't figure out what they were, and I'm like, oh, it's the cons cards. I didn't know where they were. And I found them in this box. So I'm going to go through the Cons, Wieners cards, and some other oversized cards. So the first one up here is a 62 Cons Wiener Bill Verdon. And you can see these kind of like OG Cons Wiener cards. So this is kind of mid-tier, in terms of design. So some of the original designs for Cons had no writing on the back. Like my 57 Mazurowski has no writing. This actually has stats. So it's a little step up. And then they blew it by, just making the design awful in the late 60s. But this was still really cool. So I love this design. It's got, compliments of Cons, the Wiener the world awaited. And it's a 6. Pretty good grade. These cards are pretty tough. You can see the hot dog grease right there. So they don't really deduct too much for grease stains on these cards because they came in packs of weenies. Next up is probably the highlight of the collection here, because short version is I don't have any Cons Clementes. It's on the list of things to get, but super collectors love those cards because they're rare. The 57 Cons Clemente is like one of my Alpha and Omega cards. It's probably top 5 of Clementes I don't have in terms of like specialty cards. But, the list is basically the 68 3D plus the Cons cards plus, whatever specialty tops cards that are out there. I have the 3D sticker. So like I have one of the cool ones. But I don't have any Cons cards. So this is Bill Mazurowski. So this is a PSA7. 62 Cons, and this one is actually a little bit nicer. It's a 7 versus 6. Again, you can see the writing, but again, you can see on this edge here there is some print, or I don't know, maybe some smush from the hot dog. I don't know. They don't take it into consideration, these cards, as much as you would think. In fact, I think based on this edge here, I think it's just print. How the card was printed, there's some print spray on the back, which is what that is right there. You can kind of see it. So it's very odd. The grade is 7. I'm not going to argue. I bought this card a long time ago. But it's a Hall of Famer. So there you go. PSA 7, 62 Cons. Now we're moving up into the infamous 61 Con set, because this is the set that I'm actually putting together as a full team set. And I need the Clemente, so that would be pretty high on my list of things I need is the 61 Clemente Cons. But here's Wilmer Vinegar Bin Mizell. PSA 7, very high grade. I think I looked and like on average for 61, there's only 14 cards per player graded. So in the whole Con set. So if you took every Cons card made in 1961, and based on the PSA registry, there's averaging only 14 cards per player. So finding your card is rare. And there you go. Vinegar Bin Mizell. Oh, yeah. So, that's because he was from Vinegar Bend, Alabama. There you go. So there you go. Vinegar Bin Mizell. He was 12. He won 12 games for the Pirates in 1960. Started one of the World Series games. So he was pretty big part of that 60 team. He's not in the top set. So the only reason I started collecting Cons and postcards was because the 60 set had, or the 61 set had the Mizell. So I thought to myself, well, I'll just get, the 61 post Mizell, and then I'll have a card, to put in my set. And I'm like, well, I just get the whole 61 Pirates post set. And then I found out about this card. I'm like, oh my God, now I got another set to collect, which was horrifying and great all at the same time. So there you go. The Wilmer Mizell from 61. Now, it's just because this was sort of like how it worked. That was my second Mizell I picked up. The first one I picked up was this one right here. And it's seen some better days. It needs to be cleaned up. Again, dusty box for a lot of years. So the first one I picked up was a 7MK, and I'm looking for the K, the mark. It's right here. Someone wrote 61 right there. So there we go. Wilmer Mizell, 61 Cons, 7MK. kind of sad, but I picked up the 7 because I wanted a higher grade card, and it came up for sale. So I upgraded. So I've got 2 Myosopic cards. One's a 7 MK, which would average out to a 5 on the registry. All right, next up is an 8. Wow, look at this guy. 1960 MLB MVP Dick Groat, led the league in batting average. I looked up, I posted some of these cards on Instagram. By the way, if you want to check out my Instagram, it's Cards and Comics 877 on Instagram. So check me out there. But here you go. This is the PSA8. Now, I read in a few not documentaries, but free books about Clemente, where he was upset about the 60 World Series voting because Groat missed, quite a few games in the later half of the season because of injury, and Clemente actually played really well in the second half. But if you compare their WAR, Dick Groat had a 6.1 WAR when I looked it up, and Clemente had a 4.0. So Groat was a more valuable player in 1960 than Clemente. So I think it was probably a good choice that Groat won it because he played shortstop and he led the league in batting. That doesn't happen too often. And he was good defensively. So it makes sense that he was the MVP on the World Series winner. He was a good player. Played a lot of years. He had over 2,000 hits. So again, hit 325 that year. So I just think, he wasn't a power hitter. You can say he only had 2 home runs, but he was good defensively and was kind of the team captain. So there you go. 61 cons Dick Groat. Here we go. My favorite player in the whole 61 teams outside of Maz and Clemente is Smokey Burgess. I just love the name Smokey Burgess. In fact, my first 61 Topps card I ever got in my life at a card show when I was a kid that my mom took me to was a Smokey Burgess that has math all over it. And I wish I still had it. I ended up upgrading that card over the years. But someone did their math homework on it. But that was the first card I ever bought in my 61 Topps team set. Now, for people who don't know, look at some old videos, but I put together the whole team set. My grade average is like 8.2. I'm trying to upgrade it to 8.5 or better, including the Clemente, which is 8.5. So the Smokey Burgess was the start of that whole thing. So he's got a special spot in my heart. Now, Burgess was a really good pinch hitter. And if you read about him, he definitely holds some records, I believe, for pinch hitting. And he was, the backup catcher. You can see here, he hit that year 294. The year before, he hit 297. So he was a good hitter. He hit 300 a few times. So this guy was a good hitter. And he hit 21 home runs in 55. So this guy was not a defensive replacement or a pinch hitter. The guy could hit, he hit 7 home runs in 60. The year before, he hit 11. But hitting 294, and he made 4 All-Star teams. I mean, gosh, the guy was pretty good. So, I know people don't think about him as a good player, but this guy was good, and he's definitely a huge part of my collection because he started this whole thing. All right, last cons here is, again, very dirty. Look at that. I got to clean these all up. But here we go. 61 cons Elroy Face SGC 88. Elroy Face was the save guy for the Pirates. He was a 2-time All-Star as of this card, and which I like that. They got All-Stars down here. It's got the World Series champs. He was 10-8. He had a bunch of saves. He won 18 straight games in relief one year. So the guy was, Now there was a big joke you can win games as a reliever by giving up the lead and then your team coming back and winning. But he was he was a big-time pitcher, reliever for the Pirates. Big key member of that team. Closed out a lot of the 60 World Series games. And it's a cool 8 grade. Again, very tough condition to find these cons in. And then the last few pieces here. First up is the 60. When I went through my Hall of Fame Pirate collection, I missed this card. And I missed the cons card. That's really what I was like. I've got these con cards and big cards. I don't know where they are. So here's the 68 action All-Star sticker. And this has got 2 Hall of Famers. So you've got Maz, which is why I have it. Then you got Cepeda. And again, it's a 4. And again, these cards don't have anything on the back. There's a perforation right here. It came in like there was 3 cards on a package, I guess. I know, like when you open them up. And so like there was always 2 of these multi stickers. And I think in the middle was like the actual single player sticker, like the Clemente I have. And so that's why you have the perforations here. So pretty tough, test set. And I have the Clemente, I have the Maz. I don't have the single Maz. I think there is a single Maz. I don't have that. So, but I have the Clemente, and now I've got the Maz multi sticker there. Pretty fun. And next up is just something really weird I picked up. I have another weird thing that I could show you guys, which is I can talk about it, but it's a letter from the, I think, Sporting Magazine that someone, it's actually not a letter, it's actually an article written by a journalist about Dick Groat winning the World Series, or winning the MVP, and it's called Man on the Move. And I have the actual typewritten article that he submitted to like Sporting Life, or one of the Sporting News magazine, from like 60. I have the actual typewritten and handwritten notes. It's really weird. I have the actual article as well, and with the edits from the editor. It's wild. I gotta find it, but it's like in this pile of stuff. But man, it's really weird. Yeah, another weird thing I have. I don't know why. Yeah. So Pittsburgh Pirate Baseball Club. Yeah, this is weird. This is a 46 Pirates complimentary season pass. So again, yeah, so this allows, and I think it's stamped here. I think it's maybe because it was used. I don't know. Like, or I don't know. I'd stamp. I'm just guessing. But it's very rare to see these, and this one is in really good shape. I kind of think maybe it was never used. I don't know. Maybe it was never used, and then that's why it doesn't have a person's name here. And then at the end of the season, the person clipped it, and then they just like kept it. Unused complimentary season pass. So there you go. There's the conditions on the back. So if you can really read it. But 1946 Pittsburgh Pirates complimentary season pass. And last few here, 38 exhibits, 4 in 1. So here's Paul Wainer, Floyd Vaughn, Cy Blanton, and Gus Sir. These cards are really cool, but they're not really worth much. It's a 4. These are just really big blank back cards. They're more like postcards than baseball cards, which is why I don't think anyone's really gotten popular. But again, there's Paul Wainer. And these are real photos. And again, all these photos were used in the 33 Gaudy set. And then here you go. This is National Chickle Pep Young from 1936. Like 36 is kind of a devoid year in cards. This is kind of cool. And this is Pep Young. And again, blank back. So just another odd pirate card I own. So there you go, some weird stuff I own. I just want to share with you guys as I'm finding this stuff, and thought you might be interested. Let me know in the comments if you think any of this stuff should be graded that's raw. What should I do with those packs of stuff, man? Let me know if you think they're worth grading. And I'll see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.